Imco on writing. I hope you consider the following to be important but not obvious tips. With regard to writing fiction, first, don't overcomplexify. Many readers prefer the clarity of linear plot rather than the au courant back and forth in locations and time periods. Keep your characters simple but not simplistic, a core strength, a core weakness, and a quirk. More than that muddles matters. Do make your characters relatable, and not in a cliched way. For example, they might be struggling with a problem that your readers could empathize with, and they fight to avoid troubling other people with it. That builds the empathy you'll have for them. Your antagonist should also be relatable, even somebody you might root for. Same with plot. You're safest with one, maximum two subplots. Have a story arc. Get your hero up a tree, throw ever bigger rocks at him, over which he or she prevails, but then there's a twist that forces the protagonist into a bigger risk against the nemesis, climaxing in a big confrontation. If it's a comedy, your hero wins. If it's a tragedy, he or she loses. I default to a middle ground, a bittersweet, ambiguous ending. Fleshing that out a bit, give your protagonist challenges, dilemmas, especially those in which both sides are defensible, especially in conflict with the antagonist. For example, in a political drama, the liberal hates the conservative, but will lose the election unless he tampers with the voting machine software. What should he do? Have a scene arc. Each scene should move from sad to happy, happy to sad to happy to sad, angry to happy, or so on. Write about what you know. It's hard to match the authenticity of lived experience. So you might want to write semi-autobiographically, or at least have your piece set in a culture or geography you know. Streamline. Many authors spend too much time on description of the persons or settings, unless a physical characteristic is a key to understanding the plot. For example, a 7-foot woman trying to negotiate lookism. Include only a bit of sensory detail about the person or surroundings. Those tend to lard more than enrich. Character is revealed best by their actions, not by a description of them and their environs. More broadly, prize concision. Always ask yourself, would this word, would this phrase, would this sentence enhance my reader's pleasure? Could it be said in fewer words? Every unnecessary word dilutes. Pace. Intersperse action with quiescence, perhaps including an idea to ponder. Certainly by the end, the reader should have learned something that they're glad they learned, maybe something of value to their lives, and something to ponder. Now just a couple of words about nonfiction. Write the important but not obvious. As I mentioned, my goal in this essay is to present the important but not obvious, and that's what I encourage you to do in your nonfiction writing. Focus on the unusual but significant. For example, a leader widely thought of as brave, in fact, only took risks where the risk was small and the potential gain large. Now here, it would be great for you to provide an example. Clarity is king. Unless you're writing in a journal, write to communicate. If enhancing clarity, understanding of pleasure, add a good anecdote, an example, or a statistic. But better one great one than two okay ones. My process. Whenever I'm writing an article, essay, story, or book chapter, I muse and maybe Google search around a half hour is all, making notes on a memo pad over a cup of coffee. Then, without looking at the notes, I start writing as quickly as possible, getting a crappy first draft done before I get out of the chair. Then I look at the notes to see if I omitted something important. If so, I add it. I then take a break. On return, I start rereading. Each pass through it is quick. I look only to fix or improve what immediately pops out. That makes the process pleasurable rather than laborious. I average 6 passes before I make one that doesn't require much change, and that's my signal that it's done. Rejection. Rejection is nothing to me. I've become inured. Ghosting far more often exceeds rejection, let alone acceptance. Ignoring rejection and sallying forth is key to writing and to life. And finally, money? How to make $1 million as a writer? Start with $2 million. Write because you're driven to self-express, and maybe, although not necessarily, to share with others. And with that, write on. In any event, that's on writing. As usual, I welcome your thumbs up and accept your thumbs down. I always look forward to your comments, and especially like it if you hit the share button below. Share on your social media so that my efforts can have broader impact. and I am flattered if you choose to subscribe to my channel, and certainly would welcome you taking a look at any of my 36 books. Perhaps most relevant to this is Starving Artists, but all 36 are on Amazon. In any event, I thank you for watching. I'm Marty Nemko.